fucking every hole. Fucking every hole. Fucking every hole. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's it. There it is.
Tell me your name, where you're from.
Nate Sexton, Eugene, Oregon.
Nice shot, Nate.
Hello, and thanks for tuning in. We'll kick off our 2012 season with a quartet of tales, starting with the recent Ladies Only tournament. We'll also continue our series from last summer's AM Nationals. Looking ahead to this summer's PDGA Worlds in North Carolina, we've got a tour of Charlotte's Web. And our Finnish connection checks in with coverage of the Mukkala Open. But before we get started, here's a reminder about the folks who help make our show possible.
Production and distribution of Disc Golf Live is made possible through the generous support of our underwriters. Thanks for your support.
Have you started your class collection yet? I have. I got all 7.
Now that's what we saw at the room.
Clash DVD. Start your collection today. I've got mine.
It's that easy.
He's looking at a turbo. It tends to go in a lot.
Clash DVD. Have you started your collection? I have mine.
That's got a chance.
Clash DVD. Have you started your collection? I got mine.
Recently, an event took place near our studio which was just too attractive to miss. Here's the story.
Thanks, Randall, and welcome to Disc Golf Live's coverage of the 2011 Disc Girls Gone Wild. We're here at Sleepy Hollow State Park in Lanesburg, Michigan. This is the 5th year that the Disc Girls have gone wild here in and around the capital city of Michigan, Lansing. This was a 2-day, 3-round tournament. We'll pick up the action on the first tee as the final round gets underway. As luck would have it, while our camera did just fine during warm-ups, it conked out just as the top Open players were set to tee off. Fortunately, we recovered in time for their upshots and had no more technical problems the rest of the way. This is Liz Lopez, who leads by 5 after 2 rounds. She put up a tourney best 50, that's -4, in the second round to take the lead. Erin Oakley sits in 3rd place, 7 behind Lopez. In 2nd sits Liz Schooner, 5 throws back. Altogether, there were 46 gals at this ladies-only event, including 13 advanced amateur players and 9 professionals, along with beginner and intermediate players, and a few juniors.
All right, it'll be pars around to start the final round here at the Disc Girls Gone Wild.
Up ahead, first round leader Sue Stevens is finishing up on number 2. She started the round 8 throws behind Liz.
Pretty wide open, hole number 2 here at Sleepy Hollow.
Liz plays out of far off San Antonio, Texas. She'll go on in a couple of weeks after this event to a 3rd place finish at the PDGA World Championships.
Oh, nice shot.
Nice shot.
Covington, Kentucky's Liz Schooner also traveled a fair piece to reach Michigan. Erin is a local and one of the tourney organizers. Many of the Lansing area gals in attendance got their start by playing in the Women's League Erin runs. Sleepy Hollow State Park is a multi-use facility, so a lot of folks here for other activities are learning about disc golf. There is on-site camping, so many players stayed overnight right here. Tournament organizers did a great job of welcoming players by orchestrating meals and a full slate of side events, including some night golf. This hole was a bit too long for our two challengers to do much more than lay up, but Liz left herself a deuce putt after driving hole high.
Opportunity gone by for Liz there to make a quick two to jump up another throw on the field. But everyone will settle for pars here on the second hole, Sleepy Hollow State Park.
We hiked up the fairway on number 3 to catch Sarah DeMar. Sarah sat in 6th, 14 back to start the round. All 3 of the players on this card are Michiganders. Rounding out the second card is TJ Meisterheim, 11 back.
Good putt, TJ.
All right, Sue, I think, took a bogey on that one probably. She had a rescue shot to give herself a putt at it, but it did not stick. Otherwise, I think the ladies had pars. Liz had a big chance to make a 2 there on the previous hole, but fluffed her putt a bit. All right, didn't hit us. That's good.
This hole measures the same 371 feet as the last one, but plays much tougher. This is what might be called a transitional hole, with the next few holes meandering through the woods. Par 3 is a good score here. With the pin out of range off the tee, holes of this sort come down to keeping it in the fairway and executing quality approach shots. And of course, no matter the hole design, it often comes down to putting. That'll be bogeys for Aaron and Liz Schooner, while Liz Lopez extends her lead with a par 3. Scooting ahead to the 7th in search of the third group of pros, we arrived as Southpaw Lisa Harbor made a terrific bid at a deuce. Can you tell there's an airport nearby? Jen Dombrowski is another lefty. She's graced our show before, helping out with course tours in advance of the World Championships in Kalamazoo a few years ago.
Did you get that?
I did, Jen.
Did she get that?
Let's look back at the tee pad on the 185-foot 7th hole here at Sleepy Hollow. A little punch shot through the trees to a basket that sits on a bit of a knoll. 2 groups of the top pros to come through here. We're hoping for an ace.
Sue has honors as the second card takes the tee here on number 7.
Ho 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 ho. Sue Stevens. Fabulous run at it. Thank you, Susie. Sarah like that. TJ like that.
This is the last of several woodsy shorter holes. From here on out, most of the holes will be out of reach off the tee except for the longer throwing ladies. So anything but a birdie here is disappointing. And it'll be a par for TJ. Sarah's just itching for a birdie here. She's found herself surrounded by poison ivy, probably not for the first time today.
Yeah, I can feel it touching me.
Yikes. Break out the calamine lotion. Nice bid. Let's see what Sue can do.
Yes, Sue!
Shot lefty.
Yeah!
That was Liz Schooner catching an early tree. She's coming off 2 birdies in a row.
Liz has lost a tee pad.
Liz Lopez broke a perfect string of 3s with a birdie 2 on the previous hole. That should give her a great shot at another deuce. Erin went birdie, bogey, birdie on the last 3. We'll just go ahead and mark her down for another deuce.
Good job.
After the ladies cleaned up here, we headed across the course in search of the top amateur groups. We found a shady spot on a reachable hole, and soon enough, third card of advanced amateur players came along.
Hole 14 here at Sleepy Hollow plays 252 feet from the open into the woods.
These gals each started a good 15 or 16 throws behind the divisional leader, so winning probably isn't in the cards. However, there is still a lot riding on this round. The top 4 amateur finishers will be paired with the top 4 open players for a 9-hole skins match, which will take place after the tourney proper wraps up. Such post-tournament events allow amateurs to accept cash without affecting their amateur status. Looks like it will be pars around for this group. The gals on the second amateur card started the round from 10 to 13 behind the leader. Kat Watuki sat in that critical 4th position to start, a spot she'll need to hold to get into the cash skins match. She was 5 out of 3rd starting out, so moving up will be a challenge, but she'll be able to keep a close eye on the competition. That side of the fairway seems to be a popular place today. There were 13 players in the advanced amateur division altogether. We'll see the top 9 players come through this hole.
There you go, look at this.
You guys, nice it away.
Oh, there it is. There you go.
Good save.
See, you made one. Yeah. What I'm talking about. Cameraman there and all.
It'll be another set of pars on the scorecard.
3s for everyone. Nice.
Deb Cartwright has the tee as the top amateurs tackle, the 14th here at Sleepy Hollow. She started 5 off the pace set by Crystal Fromm. Crystal's got the drive of the day here so far. Molly Galbraith started 5 back, tied with Deb for 2nd place.
Oh, man. Good line. That would have been right on time.
On her way to a 4 over 58, Crystal would take home the title today in the advanced amateur division. Deb also carded 58 for the round to secure 2nd place, while Molly hung on to take 3rd. Kat Watuki, off the 2nd card, secured the 4th and last spot among the amateurs for a spot in the final 9.
Here's a look from behind the tee pad on number 14. 252 feet, the Red Fox.
This view from the tee shows just how tight the target line here is for players. And the hill in front of the tee pad doesn't make things any easier.
I didn't follow through.
Higher shots stand a good chance of getting slapped down by the trees, while a throw low enough to get under the ceiling is pretty likely to come up short for all but the longest players.
Go, go.
As was the case on the amateur side, the pros are hoping to get into the final 9 post-tournament round. A chance to pick up some additional cash in a Pro-Am doubles skins match. Unfortunately, these players were at least 6 throws out of 4th place and the final spot among the pros, so it will take a great round to make the cut. No magic on the putting surface here today, though. Pars around. Sue started in 4th, 1 out of 3rd, and 8 off the pace set by Liz Lopez. Sarah started out in 6th, 6th out of 4th, and a spot in the finals. This is the kind of position that a camera guy starts thinking about getting a flak jacket and a helmet. TJ sat just 3 behind Sue to start the round. Yikes, another high one, somewhere in the tree.
All right, that group was hard to follow, but we didn't get hit.
Longtime viewers might remember Sue as one of a gang of talented golfers called the Winnie Crew, who toured the country in a Winnebago for several seasons around the turn of the century.
Taking a knee in the poison ivy, not good.
Sarah's battle with Mother Nature continues. She's in familiar territory.
Get it.
Hi world. Hi disc golf world. I do still play.
And it will be pars around for this group as well. This hole is an elusive deuce today. Let's see how the top trio tackles it. Liz is coming off birdie 2s on the 2 previous holes, which measured 370 and 280. Erin has notched 4 deuces so far this round, but has a couple bogeys and a double bogey working against her. Liz Schooner has a pair of deuces on the card, but 3 bogeys and a triple bogey so far have left some space for folks off the second card to slip into the final 9 mix. Put this group down for a trio of pars as well. The final tally here on 14, 18 players, and 1 birdie by amateur champion Crystal Fromm. Liz Lopez is firmly in the driver's seat with 4 holes to play. Only a collapse of epic proportions would keep her from the title. Otherwise, it's a battle to hang on for the others, with both the final tournament standings and the post-tournament skins game to keep in mind.
Nice shot.
Women's-only tournaments are a growing trend, with several regional events similar to this one on the PDGA calendar. There is also the well-established United States Women's National Championship, which takes place on a different venue each year in the fall. Erin has played very solid golf so far, balancing birds and bogeys to sit at even par.
Nice. Nice shot, Erin.
Liz Schooner could use a miracle or two to close out the round, but comes up a bit short here.
Oh, nice shot.
Nice run at it.
Yeah.
This is for Liz's 5th birdie of the round. Nice bid. No changes on the card here. Pars around. The 16th is a blind uphill right-hand bender. A deuce opportunity for those who get past all the obstacles, and a tough one for a one-camera shoot. Here's a view of the fairway these gals were navigating. Layups to this well-guarded pin position were the order of the day for this group. Erin and Liz Lopez leave themselves mere drop-ins. Ms. Schooner left herself a bit more work. but she cleaned up for par 3 just fine. Another round of pars, if you please. The second group of Open players was finishing up on the 17th as we arrived. A caddy suggested that Sarah was a few over, while Sue sat around even par.
Nice shot, Sue.
Breeze kicking up. Feels good. Temperature today's in the upper 80s, as it's been for the last month, it seems, here.
A bit more open than the last few. This hole plays more uphill than it appears on video. The bushes in front of the tee force many players to shape left to right shots, one of the harder throws for right-hand, backhand throwers. Erin caught a bush on the right side and faces tough sledding the rest of the way. And the upshots for the rest of the card were nothing to write home about, despite the wide open putting surface. Erin's not rolling over just yet.
Nice bid for a 3.
It will be a bogey for Liz Schooner as well. Solid putting is one of the reasons Liz Lopez is among the top players in the world. Nicely done. Nice par. By the time the 2011 season was wrapping up, Liz had pocketed over $8,000 in tournament winnings. So we've reached the final hole of Disc Girls Gone Wild here at Sleepy Hollow State Park. Liz Lopez is on track to bring home the $690 first prize and a spot in the skins match.
Great shot.
Erin Oakley sits at 1 over for the round and in good position for a top finish.
Good shot. Right in the fairway.
Nice.
Liz Schooner had some rough patches out there today and sits at 5 over. Up ahead on the second card, Sue Stevens shot even par, 54. Erin will need par 3 here to tie for second place overall. Liz Schooner has a lock on 4th place and the final spot in the skins match, leading 5th place finisher Sarah DeMar by a handful. One last birdie opportunity for the champion.
Get it! Oh!
Well, there certainly would have been a fitting deuce to finish things off on, but no such luck.
Erin locks down a tie for second place. Well, that's all for now from Disc Girls Gone Wild at Sleepy Hollow State Park in Lanesburg, Michigan. But we'll be back in an upcoming episode with action from the Final 9 skins match as the top finishers double up to go toe-to-toe for a pile of cash. Thanks for tuning in.
In advance of next summer's PDGA World Championships in North Carolina, Hall of Famer Stan McDaniel sat down with Billy Crump recently to talk about Charlotte's Web and his course design principles.
Well, we've got Stan McDaniel again, and Stan, I'll tell you, the original layout here, Hornet's Nest, is one of my top 3 favorite in the world. I've played over 300. And what you did here, same thing you actually did over at Renaissance, you did an overlay. You know, I mean, why was Hornet's Nest not good enough, I guess would be my first question. And how could you come up with something even tougher on the same piece of property?
Yeah, well, at the time, we only had a certain number of courses in town, and I just like to play golf. I like to play ball golf, and I like to play golf strategy when I'm playing disc golf, and had an opportunity with some extra land and space at Hornet's Nest to push it.
Well, and it's interesting, like hole 1, you used part of the original layout and then left off. Hole 2, same situation. Hole 3 is a completely different hole. And hole 4, again, in some places, I guess where the land allows you, you're breaking away, and where it doesn't, you are really creatively incorporating a new, much tougher hole.
Yeah, as best I could. You know, with ball golf, you have multiple tees. Although the green remains the same, they can do pin placements, and I was able to, on a number of the holes, utilize much or all of the same fairway. sometimes adding more, sometimes having to add a longer basket to create a par 4 out of a land that was originally for a par 3. It took a while to work it out, believe me.
Well, I mean, and you know, even here is, I don't say sketchy tee pad, but generally you don't create tee pads that throw over a roadway, but it did give you the opportunity to really lengthen this hole out to bring a magnificent tree into play. And on certain occasions, you will break your own rules, so to say.
Yeah. Now again, when you use the term road, you know, that's the entrance to a parking lot there. There is the park road out to the side, but it's not like, you know, Hornets Nest is not a through street. And yeah, there are some busy days in the park where maybe with some activities you wouldn't want to utilize that tee pad for a tournament and whatnot. But yeah, again, yeah, I might have been pushing it a tad, but you got to look at the bigger picture.
Well, it does turn out to be a wonderful hole, and there's something else that I see a little different. I mean, you want to keep the integrity of that hole. You've actually pinned that branch at that basket up so that it doesn't intrude as much as it can on the green.
Yeah, I didn't want it to intrude, and I didn't want to lose the branch because it causes people to run hard at the basket, and you know, people will jump up, grab, hang, break things. So it's lasted because of getting Michael Joe to string some wire up there and support it for me.
Well, and you know, these two little holes, they're small little holes, but they're part of Charlotte's Web. I mean, and they are tough. I mean, you are not only known as a tough designer, but you can be creative with a short amount of land as well. How do you see the difference in a long hole versus some of the short holes out here?
Yeah, short holes, I like to, on a challenging course, keep the fairways tight with some interesting turns, or use of elevated baskets, creating some different putting angles than people normally see, is a challenge.
Now that elevated basket, something that you, as far as I know, started, really was, as far as I know, again, because we got a lot of flat land here and you just wanted to create elevation. Is that true?
That's where it started, you bet. And then, you know, sometimes I just wanted things extreme. As a ball golf aficionado, I love watching fast greens at the Masters or the U.S. or British Open and all. And my best, you know, like it or not, it's my way of trying to recreate that for us in our sport.
Well, I mean, we just saw what I considered the first legitimate par 5 in the sport, hole number 12 here, and it remains the same during Charlotte's Web. And we're coming to a hole that is the same way. It's a small little hole, 234 I think, simply known as the Gauntlet worldwide, but it remains the same. And why did you not attempt to change those holes? Are they just perfect in your mind?
As par 3s, yes. And there are other, you know, as a par 3, yes, but there are some constraints as far as land use, property lines, and boundaries. And I like the number 70 for your total par on a disc golf course, and I was able to work in enough par 4s and 5s elsewhere to keep these that I really liked.
Well, and those are a couple of holes that are, again, are world renowned, and players a lot of times when they come to the property, they're really looking forward to playing those holes. And you know, this hole here, rather than taking a 90-degree left, you just continued on down a little, well, it's not a deer path, but it is one tight fairway that you've got to manipulate all the way up and around.
Yeah, that was fun to, I actually think it's a much tougher par 5 than hole 12. You can get away with maybe one mediocre shot on hole 12, you can't on 16.
Well, this is, again, a wooded layout, and it's great use of the land that you've got. That's Stan McDaniel showing you an overlay, and you can see there a combination 17-18 basket. Here at Hornets Nest, this is known as Charlotte's Web. Stan, thanks for your time.
You betcha, Billy.
That's Charlotte's Web, an overlay of Hornets Nest in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you're ever in the area and you want a challenge, come here and check it out.